Good morning, everybody. Welcome and thank you for watching the Mindset in the Morning podcast. I am your host, Corey Dion Lewis.
And I am Robert Dion Taylor. Because Corey tried to forget me about, he tried to skip me.
My bad.
Corey tried to skip me out, fellas. It's okay. It's all good.
My bad. We're getting there, man. It's only the third one. We'll get better.
It's all right, man. It's, you know what? It's just whatever.
Like fine wine, we get better with time.
All that cognac, man. All that yak. Right? You get that yak in the system. Yeah, buddy.
How's your week been, man?
Man, not a bad start. Just got to finish the month off strong. Come into work every day, put your hard hat on, and just try to make a difference every day,
right? Do you feel like at the end of the week, or not week, sorry, the end of the month, it gets like you start the month off with that grind, like, hey, it's time to go, let's get it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like by the end of the month, like something like you're just like, man, like you drain? How do you keep that? How do you keep that same energy?
I'm always amped. I'm always like, it could be Monday, it could be Friday, it could be Sunday or Saturday. I'm always ready to go. Some days, maybe some weeks are longer than others. So when Friday comes, but I'm never one of those guys that when Friday comes, I walk down and say, thank God it's Friday. Yay, everybody, it's Friday. And I'm like, who the F cares? Like, I'll be here tomorrow. So, no, I go get it every day. So, but towards the end of the month, I don't know, when you see how many people you've helped and kind of what you've accomplished, did you meet the goal that you actually wanted to meet? Did you help as many patients as you wanted to and things of that nature? Did you have more meetings? Did you do this? Do you see growth? Right. And I think that is what honestly gets me jazzed up, because every month I actually have seen, whether it's completed or whether it's referrals or whether it's meetings or whether it's more shows or whether it's more followers, this, that. Again, like I always say, I just take the wins wherever I can get them. Not everything is always based on just one number. I like to, even when I'm training people too, I say this to them as well: don't focus on just your weight, right? You may weigh the same, but you may lose inches. All right, that's still a gain. Or you may not lose inches or may not lose weight, but you look and feel better. That's a win. So however you view it is how you view it. To me personally, I view progress and things of that nature in totality versus how many did you do and what did you profit. To me, you can get lost in all that. I mean, when you talk to banks and stuff like that, that's all they care about.
Right.
But me as a leader and me as an owner, what I did last month to try to generate more revenue, did I get more referrals? And if I didn't convert them, that's on me. What can I do to convert better or do this or that? Then comes the end assessment of yourself, then your performance. But yeah, I'm always jazzed up. At the end of the month is really, really special to me, because perhaps maybe I can see the hard work I put in and month out. Is it showing? And what area is it showing? And then what area can I improve? That way I can take that into the next month.
Right. You feel that same way, even when the goal, you ain't hitting the goals like you thought you should. Like you still got that same energy, that same outlook. Like, hey, I gotta keep doing this, even if you didn't hit the goals that you wanted to hit at the beginning of the month. You're like, hey, so what? Gotta keep moving.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that everything you do every day matters. Like, you need to have that mindset that what I'm doing today may not pay dividends tomorrow, may not pay dividends this week, may pay dividends 2-3 weeks down the line. But every day that you come into work and work for yourself, you have to realize that what you're doing matters, and it will matter. So I'm always just, how can I improve? It's always how can I be better? I don't, oh, this person doesn't like me, so they're not going to do this, or this person, or that, or this. I don't finger point at no one else. I point at me first and foremost before I do anything else. Assess myself. Did I do a good enough job? Did I do what I did last month, this month? Did I taper off on all those emails? Did I not see, 10 to 12 docs a day? Did I not, try to send messages out? Did I not send ad campaigns out? Did I do everything I could? And if I know for a fact that I did everything I could, the end result couldn't be frustrating. Will be frustrating when you don't hit goal. But my mindset is, with what I'm doing, I know I'm going to get there.
Right. Yeah. You know what? And we were just having this conversation before the podcast started about, just doing something every day. And I think that goes to your point about making every day count.
Right.
Because when I started, trying to evolve or, show people that I know I'm talking about when it comes to, health coaching, or, just I wanted to kind of show what I know, right? So I literally from starting last year, around this time actually, I posted every single day something something that I knew, something that I was doing at the time on LinkedIn. Instagram I'm still working, trying to improve on, but LinkedIn, I chose LinkedIn because it's a professional network, and I wanted to show that I was professional, so it just made sense to me. Right. So every single day, except for Saturday and Sunday, Monday through Friday, I posted something for a whole year. But I posted with the intent, knowing, hey, no one's going to see this, because no one knew who I was at the time. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to see this. I might get a like from somebody that I knew, or, something here and there.
Yeah. Myself, probably.
Right. I might get a like, or, but now, it's a lot different. When I post now, it's a lot different than when I posted a year ago, because I've shown my work. Like, I've shown, hey, he knows what he's talking about. And even with the podcast, like, I've joked around with you, like, hey, you're one of my first sacrifices, because you're one of my first interviews when nobody was listening.
It was a good interview too, man. It's really
was. Hey, if y'all get a chance, go back and listen to that first interview, man. It was a good interview.
It was really good. There was no video. It was pretty raw. I said a few cuss words, I think, but yeah, that was my first show I've ever been on. I had no idea how to. I'm still working on it, people. I'm still working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah, but I posted an episode every week.
Yeah.
I took a few, like a week or so off throughout the year, which I'm kind of annoyed, because I wanted to have 52 episodes by my my year anniversary, but it's gonna be like 47 or something like that. But
that's still pretty good. I mean,
yeah, it took posting that first and second, that third interview, knowing that when I checked my downloads, it wasn't going to be much to look at, like, because no one knew who I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now going into it, and I've only been doing a year, and I know cats, I don't know them personally, but I've heard of people saying they've been podcasting for years, plural, and are just now starting to see some benefits. Right. And I've been doing it for a year, but it's all about just knowing that first episode, or that first thing, knowing like, hey, this may not be, I may think it's great. No one's going to know it yet. So I'm going to have to do this consistently, knowing that I'm putting all this money into this, knowing no one cares because no one knows, but a year now, a year down the road.
You don't have to say it so savage, like, but yeah,
but no one gives a
damn about you, coach.
But it's unfortunate that's not, unfortunately, it's the truth. No one, why would you know who I was if I wasn't putting out content? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so here's a good question for you then, because I think this actually might be something people want to know. With that mindset, knowing that, hey, I'm going to do this and do this and do this, knowing no one's going to give two shits, but yet you still do it. Why?
Because I think there's two answers there. For me personally, one, I had, at the time I started to now, I had the confidence that, hey, no one knows who I am. It doesn't matter right now, because they will. Right. They gonna know who I am. I'm gonna post every week. You will have no choice. So that was my mindset. Like, regardless if you want to know who I am or not,
Yeah.
it's inevitable, right? So that was the mindset. And two, I just fell in love with it. Like, I loved everything about it. I love being able to connect with. I love the fact that I was connecting to people I would never connect with before, ever. You know what I'm saying? I was able to connect with someone like we are now, and learn and connect with just more people, and being able to talk. And it was just the whole process, of interviewing somebody and editing, which sounds weird to say, like, someone is excited about editing, but like, it's something about listening to the podcast and being like, oh, that's a bar, and then trying to and then taking that snippet and then creating some images, some graphics around it, and then putting it out so people can see it. Like, the whole thing was, I enjoyed it, right? Now, the editing, I will say, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of podcasters, the editing part is probably the least favorite,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But it's still a part of the process. If I hated it that much, I would just stop. But knowing that there are things in every business, and you probably can agree to this too. There are things in every business that you don't like as much as other things, right? But you understand it's a part of the package, so you accept it and you just do it. It doesn't.
No,
you know what I'm saying? It doesn't affect you.
Definitely, 100%. Yep. I just figured, I never really ever really asked you that, because I've never actually got your take on, because I told you, like, off air, it's like, yeah, I always thought about doing a podcast and this and that, and yada yada yada. Never did. Until now that I've joined this one, it was always something that I wondered, because I was like, why? It's not easy, as far as, okay, there are millions of podcasts out there, like millions. Just
millions.
They pop up. Yeah, exactly. And it's like you said, some are successful, lots are not, with that mindset being there, or with the facts of podcasts being out there, yet you still wanted to do it. And even knowing that, I'm going to post this and post this. I'm going to do all this hard work and no one's going to care, but eventually they will. The actual hope, an actual belief in yourself to continue to grind and do that. And then now you're here, man. Salute, brother.
Hey. For real. Sometimes when in business, in any business that you're trying to do, you gotta have a bit of arrogance about it, even if you're not an arrogant person. I wouldn't say I'm an arrogant person, but if I were to say, hey, I like podcasting, and if it doesn't work out, then it's okay. Like, I'll try.
Can you do the rest of this podcast in that voice? I dare you to do this. Hey, we'll get so many likes. We'll get Come on, hit that like button if you like his accent. Go ahead, give it to him. Give it to him one more time.
That's like, hey, I just like podcasting. It's okay.
Okay, well, I'll get respond to you. Okay, if you ask me a question and like that, I'll respond with the same time. Sometimes when you win some, you lose some.
Right. But I fancy myself a humble dude. I try to be humble. But when it comes to something that you want, you gotta be like, hey, I'm gonna get this regardless. Like, you gotta have that mentality. That's just my opinion. Like, that's just how anything that I'm doing, that's how I approach it. I approach it as, this is gonna win, and I'm gonna do the most to make it win. I'm gonna try to have the best graphic. I'm gonna try to have the best audio as best as I possibly can, within my skill set.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I'm going to do. I'm gonna make you think. I've had people thinking that I have someone editing my podcast, or even doing I had someone email me, say, hey, who does your marketing, your content for your marketing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I don't really market like that.
Right.
They're talking about the images and stuff that I put up, right? Like to promote the podcast, or even some of my content on LinkedIn, like, who does that for you? And I'm like, I do it. Right. And like,
You
what?
said like that?
Yeah. I'm like, I said, yeah, I do it. Right. But it's like, like, yeah, I'm not a graphic designer,
I
but
ain't paying nobody, sucker.
no, like, no. In the beginning, it was out of necessity. Like, I couldn't pay anybody. Like,
Yeah, true.
it was out of necessity. Like, I got good because I had no choice.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a lot of time of looking at content online, looking at, oh, I do like how they did that there. So taking pieces of stuff from other things or other people's content, really, and then kind of making it my own, right? Or it just took time. And now people think that I have somebody that's a graphic designer on my team that's doing that. It's not the case. It's just me. I've just gotten better over the year. If you go back, don't do it.
No, I will now.
If you were to go back to a year ago on my LinkedIn and looked at the type of graphics and content I was putting out compared to now.
Well, I encourage everyone to go to his LinkedIn. Comment on everything. Comment. Let them have it. I'll start it.
Hot mess. And I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? So it just takes time, and it feels good when people, it does feel good when people think that I have somebody on my team, but it just goes to show the work I put into making sure that everything looks good.
Yeah. Cause I think I remember asking you like, hey, how'd you do that? And how'd you know what I mean? I was even like,
yeah. And I gave everybody the game. Anybody who's asked me like, hey, how do you do this? I'm like, hey, just go here. Just do like, hey, just what you gotta do, man. I don't care. I'll give everybody the game because it is not for one. I mean, it is. If you feel like you're not a creative person, it can be hard, but it ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got this. I'm not gonna be like, nope, you gotta pay me. Like, no, it's
damn. You got me
give you the game. I'll give you the game.
I ain't giving y'all nothing for free. So I'm joking. I am not that guy. I try to help everybody out.
Yeah, man. This guy right here, man. But hey, I got something I wanted to bring up through the podcast.
Oh yeah, please do. Let's do it.
Last week, I had the privilege of going to the first annual Black and Brown Business Summit here where I'm at. It was great. Like it was great being around not just, Black and brown people, but it was good being around like-minded people. Right.
That's the
so
key
like
right
when I know we've all had these situations where you tell somebody your business idea and they're like, man, that's going to be hard. Or what about this? Or I had somebody tell me, well, isn't there a business that does it like that? And, well, why would you do that? It's like, but when in this situation, when I was telling people about what my business was and, what I wanted the Healthy Project to evolve into, the answer was, hey, that's a lofty goal. That's a lot you got to do, but that's dope. I mean, I'm proud to do that. That's great, man. Good luck. Any way I can help. And that was so refreshing. Like it was so refreshing. And so one of the keynote speakers, I'm gonna get this man, Brandon Copeland, plays in NFL, plays for the Atlanta Falcons right now. He did a keynote. He said, I'm gonna kind of go against the grain with what my keys to success are. Again, like not what your normal person would tell you. But one of them was allow the lows to create a home in your brain. So, and I think we kind of touched on this in a podcast already. Like if something happens to you or somebody wrongs you, you know what I'm saying? Don't forget about it. Feel that and let it fuel you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Take things personally. Like most people won't say, hey, don't take it personally, but he said, no, take it personally. But the way you use that, what I'm saying? The way you use that is what is the key. So humbleness, enjoy the process. This is the one that I liked, and you may not have got it when I sent you the screenshot,
Okay.
But the Barkley versus the Jordan mentality. So what he said, what he meant was, when they were doing an interview with Charles Barkley was like, "Hey, I'm not a mentor. I'm not, I'm not a role model, right?
Right.
Like, I play basketball. I ain't your kid's role model. Don't even look at me like that." That's one mentality. But Michael Jordan's mentality was, every day I go out there and play, I know there's a kid out there that is their first time ever seeing me play in person, so I'm gonna give them my all. So and I was like, oh, I like that. I like that that mentality, right? Like, and that actually kind of goes what we've been talking about, right? Like, you see, every beginning of the month, making sure you're seeing every patient with the same energy throughout the month, regardless of who's seeing it, right? Or me with content or with the podcasting, right? Those first couple episodes, they have a lot more downloads now, but in the beginning, wasn't nobody really rocking with it. But doing it and putting the effort in, like, no one's listening now, or no one is rocking with it now, but at one day somebody's going to listen to this podcast, and I want to be on my top of my game. Or, hey, one day someone's going to ask about, what's this tailor-made sleep service, and whoever they're asking, are they going to be like, hey, dude was dope, professional, whatever, or was it somebody where they just caught you on the wrong day and you was like, don't nobody care about this anyway, so I'm gonna give you the most horrible customer service possible, because you never know who's talking, right?
No, you're right. You're right. That I didn't see that Jordan Barkley quote. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. You're man. You kind of have me speeches on that one. I don't even know you. Hey,
well, let's think about it like this, though, right? Like, let's think about it. Let's think of it as that person who's listening to the podcast right now, who's just starting out, right? As we've beat over the head, when you first start out, it ain't sweet.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It ain't sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
say it one more time for the people out there now.
It ain't sweet.
That's right. It ain't sweet.
When you're first starting out, it ain't sweet, bro. Like, it ain't. Like, we all get into entrepreneurship because one of a few things: freedom. You don't want nobody to be the boss of you,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see yourself working in 9 to 5. You get into entrepreneurship, and you're like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and then you realize that freedom you thought you was gonna get at the beginning, it ain't that sweet.
No, yeah.
And then when you're the boss and you got somebody upset with your service, or now you got to do everything, it ain't that sweet. And then, depending on what business you're in, that paycheck might not be that sweet either in the beginning, right? But what do? Do you take that Barkley mindset where you're like, whatever, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm gonna do what I want. If you don't like it, so what? Or you take that Jordan mindset of, hey, I might just make $1 right now, but I'm gonna treat this like I'm making 6 or 7 figures, and I'm gonna give my all, no matter how much I'm making.
I like that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love it. Funny thing about freedom: are you willing to sacrifice security for freedom? That's a huge question everybody needs to make before they even open that door to go that way, because you have no security. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on one second. Yeah, that's something that everybody needs to think about, as far as you crave freedom. You crave, okay, I'm my own boss. No one's the boss of me, this and that. But are you willing to give up your security for it? Are you willing to give up something that 9 to 5? Yeah, okay, it sucks because you don't think you're a 9 to 5 guy. And being an entrepreneur, you're not a 9 to 5 guy. You're 12 to 12, 16, 18 sometimes. If you're not that guy and you can't sacrifice, because look, you're going to struggle, period. There's no business that I've ever seen, unless you just have the backing immediately or things of that nature. But there's no business I've ever seen to where immediately when you start it, you're in the green. I
Right.
mean, they say all the time, if you wanted to open a bar, yeah, the first 6 or 7 months, yeah, you need to have enough collateral saved up because you're not going to make enough money. Real estate, same thing. You're not going to make enough money. So when you crave that freedom, you crave wanting this and crave wanting that. And you know, I hate working for other people and things of that nature. Hey, yeah, there are a lot of people like that. There are a lot of people like that in prison too.
Yep.
You know, didn't
Hmm.
want to do the 9 to 5, wanted to do their own thing and this and that and where it got them. So you gotta, I guess, make sure before you make that leap, make sure you understand that life is hard, right? Owning a business is hard. Everything about it is hard. Everything about it requires more time and more sacrifice than you can possibly ever imagine. Like, you're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're, you know, any other alphabet you want to give it. You're that person. Any fire that gets started, you have to put out. Any issue over here, you have to put out. You get a bad review. What if I got a bad review? I don't have any bad reviews just yet. Now it may happen. You know, it's
Right.
inevitable. Somebody's just going to be grumpy about something. I get it. Uh, but that would weigh heavily on me, mainly because I know what I put into this, and I know for a fact that every day that I come in, and every patient that calls, and every patient that sends an email, I make sure I am prompt in responding. If I'm not as prompt as I feel it may be, I apologize for it, and you know what I mean. It's just
Right.
every aspect you can think of to show that person that they're worth it, is the mindset that I actually have. And I guess you can compare it to the Barkley Jordan mindset, to where, oh, you know, some people would say, oh, this person isn't happy. Oh, well, you can't make everybody happy. That's not my mindset.
Yeah.
That cannot be my mindset, to where, okay, I know I'm not going to make everybody happy, but that's not going to stop me from trying my hardest to make sure that everybody is. There are some people that are going to be upset about certain things, but how you handle that situation, how you diffuse the situation, and how you are able to move forward from that situation will say a lot about you as a leader and a lot about you as an owner. And that patient might still be upset, but when you handle things with class, what can they actually write? Even like, yeah, I've seen on other companies too, which is actually a good example. People write bad reviews and someone responds to that review apologizing and this and that. And in some cases, they just say sorry, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But in other cases where they actually really do care, give a damn, it's like, how can we make this up to you? We're sorry. Please give this person a call so we can actually find out exactly
Right.
what, you know what I mean? It's like, look, we want to know exactly what really happened because we want to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And in other companies, like, so I would encourage a lot of people to go out there and look at company reviews. I know that sounds dumb as hell, but just from looking at the reviews, if you see, because this was actually taught to me too through the marketing team that I work with, responding to reviews. Like, you should want to respond to every review. It's not enough just to, you know, help this patient do this and do this, and then when a review comes, I don't respond. No, I need to respond to that too. It's even going a step further. But I encourage people to actually go out there and look at company reviews, because I think it actually would tell you a lot about that company, and how they actually, one, treat their employees, and two, how they treat their customers. It says an awful lot. If you see an awful lot of complaints and no responses, you know exactly what type of company there is.
Hmm.
If you see an awful lot of complaints and some responses, you pretty much know exactly. But if you just see a whole bunch of complaints, then you probably shouldn't be using that company anyway. I'm just gonna say, be real with
Right.
you.
I got
But
I got two things with that.
oh,
One,
sweet.
to kind of co-sign what you're saying, I would also say to that person that is a 9 to 5 entrepreneur like myself, who has a 9 to 5 but trying to build something, is you have to sacrifice your comfort. right? Like
Yes.
when I come home, it's back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got stuff I gotta do. I got things I gotta edit. I got stuff I gotta get ready for the next day. Like it is, I don't get comfortable until it's time for bed, and I get up and do it all over again. So
Mm-hmm.
so at the end of the day, you're sacrificing something.
Right.
Like you're just not going to sail to this, entrepreneurial dreamland where everything just works the way you want it to work. Something's going to be sacrificed,
Right.
right? And so that's what I would say to that. The second thing is, when it comes to, like you're saying, reading the reviews, one company comes to mind,
Oh,
right?
sweet. Okay.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
have you heard? So I've seen plenty of jokes about Chick-fil-A, and they've
Mm-hmm.
all been about how great they are customer service wise. Now,
Right.
if you're gonna joke about how great my customer service is, I
I'll
can.
take that. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'll take.
But your only complaint is that I'm too nice. I'll take that.
Right.
I'll take that any day. Hell yeah.
I saw this was a few months ago, maybe yeah, like 6 months ago. It was a
Right.
skit online where this guy was talking about he took Chick-fil-A, Burger King, a couple other fast food restaurants, and compared how they treat their customers' food.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like fast food company 1, and the guy just threw it at him. And the fast food company 2, the dude like smashed it and then gave it to the customer. And they talk about Chick-fil-A, how Chick-fil-A was like, here you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was totally different.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy. That's
So, but it was
I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A today just to verify that the quality
right.
of customer
But look,
service.
I will pay more. And that's where I think the Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley mind differences. That's where I think people don't understand. With the Jordan mindset of I'm going to, because come on, it's Michael Jordan. He could have told Phil, I ain't playing today. I'm not, preseason or regular season, I'm not playing today.
Mm-hmm.
Some kid in the stands whose parents spent their last dime to see Michael Jordan is like, he ain't playing. And Michael Jordan couldn't have, he's like, he didn't have to care, but he still played. Now he has a lifelong fan who will buy anything Jordan. Probably still would have anyway, but you know what I'm saying? So what I don't think people understand about those differences in mindset is when it comes to, and I always talk about Chick-fil-A again, I'll pay more for Chick-fil-A because I know I'm going to get great service.
That's true. That's true.
I am willing to drive past 2 or 3 restaurants to go somewhere. I'm like, hey, I may pay a premium, but I'm okay with that because I'm not trying to deal with my food being wrong or worried somebody spitting my joint, or I'm willing to go. I'm pay that premium, and that's why I think that even Jordan the brand, people are willing to pay $200-$300 for a pair of shoes that came out 20 years ago.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The same shoe.
Which is nuts, by the way. Like, I'm not one of those guys. I'm just gonna say
same shoe.
I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah.
I got them new J's. No, you didn't. Those aren't new.
They new to me, so whatever.
Right. But that just goes to show of not only was he a great player and there was a lot of things, but bringing it back to being an entrepreneur and having that mindset of when you're starting out with the mindset of I am going to, every piece of content I put out, everything I say, how I present myself is going to be A1 from day one, because that's what I want myself to be represented as.
Right.
And so then when you go and ask, when you have a premium ask, like he's like, hey, what service you are, what's the price? And you do that, what's the first thing people do when they hear you have a business? They go look it up online.
There you go. Yeah.
Right. Now, if you look janky online, I ain't gonna pay for, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, come on.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there are aspects. Don't get me wrong. There are certain platforms where, a iPhone video, is fine, but if I go to your LinkedIn, here's one, and maybe this is just me. I know I want to be mindful of your time.
Okay.
This gets me, and I
Uh-oh.
want to get your thought on this.
Okay.
I'll have somebody in marketing reach out to me, right? Um, it's always I10X health coaches. It's always something.
Yeah.
There's some kind of marketer or whatever. So I go to their Instagram page, and they got like 10 followers. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if you're a marketing master, shouldn't you have more followers? That's what I'm thinking. If you're presenting to me that you're this great marketer, right?
Yeah.
And I look at your content, and I immediately think, oh, I could have done that better. Or I'm like, you got like 100 people following you. Now, that is what it is, whatever. But if you're presenting yourself as this great marketer and no one's following you, is that really true?
Wow. I would have to agree with you.
Really
No, just because because I have this mindset for two different for personal trainers and for wealth coaches, like people that talk about financial stability and saving and this and that.
Yeah.
I look at the same exact thing to where it's like, okay, no offense, and I know maybe it's just me being me, but if you're fat as you know what, and you don't know how to diet, how the hell are you going to teach me? Like, I'm confused here because you don't even follow the principle. Or if you want to talk about financial literacy with me, as far as like saving, investment, things of that nature, yet you drive a hoodoo and you don't have a dime to your name. Yeah, no, that's not going to work with me. So, it's probably wrong to judge a book by its cover, but that just doesn't jive at all with me. I don't get it. So I agree
Yeah.
with you.
And I get it. I get it. Everybody has to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there are certain industries where you can start from the bottom and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain industries where, like, hey, if you're a personal trainer, because for a personal trainer, the world we live in, your appearance is you're a walking billboard.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
It is
Exactly.
what it
So
is.
if you are in shape, like, okay, like I'm not, I'm in good shape. I am not Mr. Olympia or this and that. But everybody always asks when I'm out, am I a personal trainer? Am I this or am I that? Okay. I dedicate maybe 40, 50 minutes to my body a day. Okay. I'm not in the gym 2, 3 hours a day. I get it. But
Right.
if being a personal trainer was my job, oh, you better believe I would be in the gym 2, 3 hours a day. If people are asking me now if I'm a personal trainer, right? Imagine how much business I actually would get if I really was and my body was actually in shape. If I pulled up in to a restaurant in a Lambo, drop top, easy, right? Coming in, looking good, smelling good, this and that. And someone asked me what I did for a living, and I told them I teach financial literacy and things of that nature, and I can help double your investment and this and that. By my appearance, literally just walking in, and hey, you know what? I could just rent the Lamborghini. It is what it is. But
Right.
immediately, you are already ahead of the game to that person that you're trying to sell your product to. But if you come in driving a Hyundai with missing hood cap and cracked windshield and this and that, you're not even dressed to par or this or that or whatever. You could be the smartest man in the world, but you don't look the par. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A lot of people,
exactly. I mean, appearance, I mean, it is everything. I mean,
it
I wouldn't say
is.
it's everything, but appearance is a part of it. Like, you're a walking billboard, right? Like,
Yeah.
in every industry. Like, if you're a wealth advisor and you drive a humble car, cool. But you can't be a wealth advisor and tell me, what I need to invest in, but your credit score is 400. Like,
Thank you.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you. Yeah.
because I get it. I know some cats that they refuse to buy expensive cars because because they lose their value so fast. So they just drive nice cars, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but just decent, nothing that stands out, but
Mm-hmm.
do really well for themselves in their financial
Mm-hmm.
advisors. But if you, like I said, if you're calling yourself, something, and you just like, hey, I don't care. I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I'm gonna dress if I want to dress.
Right.
You know what I'm
No
saying?
matter
Like,
what. And then let me take that back too. You don't necessarily need to have a fancy dancy car, because I don't want to let people get twisted with that statement. But I do think people need to understand that you need to dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. So if
exactly.
you obviously, if you if I wasn't, trimmed, if I wasn't in scrubs half the time, if I wasn't this, if I didn't make myself presentable to people, to my patients or anybody that approaches me or this and that, I wouldn't get approached. People wouldn't ask me any questions, things of that nature. Now, I don't drive a luxurious car, but when you see me, you can tell from my presence that I'm something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like period. You can tell, look at that guy, like that guy does something. I wonder what he does. And then they literally come and ask you, what do you do for a living? Right? If you don't look the part, that's not going to happen. That people aren't going to ask you. People aren't going to give two shits about you in that sense. So I don't want to get people get it twisted. Like, oh man, this dude just look. Hey,
Yeah.
I judge it how I judge it, and that's honestly my prerogative. But I mean,
Right.
say that personal trainer had a journey, right? And you weighed 300 pounds and got to that point. Okay, well, if there's a story involved in it, you better present that first, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Versus, yeah, you know what I mean. But I've seen a few personal trainers that shouldn't be personal trainers, because half the time they're on the phone, not even training. It just gets stuff like that just gets me steamed.
Well, yeah. Well, and people like the person you're training, they notice that stuff, man.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they notice that.
But you're not even in tune with that person.
Yeah.
You're not motivating them. You're not seeing, can you push this person or not? Can you do this or not? There's a lot of people out there, man. That could be a whole nother show.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That
It really,
frustrates me to no end.
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
at the end of the day, right? Everybody starts somewhere. Not
right.
everybody's going to start with a lot of followers. If you're a marketer, like I'm not hating on all marketers that got less than 100. You know what I mean? Like, come on, they'll take it easy.
Coach Lou's hating on you guys now.
Take it easy. But like everybody starts somewhere. But it's the mindset you approach your business in, or your
Right.
life in general, or whatever. Are you going to be like Charles Barkley and say, I'm not a role model. This is not who I am. And I'm just going to live my life. I'm going to do my thing. And you're going to approach your business that way. Or are you going to approach your business like Michael Jordan, who went out there and played his butt off because he knew somebody was seeing him for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you approach your business that way, just understand that you're going to be doing that approach over and over again for a
Right.
long
Yeah.
time until people start to notice it. And that's the one thing you got to be okay with.
I'll say one more thing too on that, because some people can look at that as two different ways to say both made millions, right?
Yep.
Both. Barkley had a successful career with that mindset.
Oh yeah, Hall of Fame career.
Perfectly fine. Hats off to him. I love Charles Barkley, to be quite honest. I love his honesty.
Yeah.
Here's the deal: Barkley was a player. Jordan is a brand.
Yep. Big
period.
facts. Big facts.
Period. Right there. Jordan is actually able to sign Charles Barkley's checks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so what do you want to be? Do you want to be, do you want to be just a normal company? Or do you want to be a brand? Do you want to be the Coca-Cola of whatever it is you're doing? Or do you want to just blend in like any other player?
Yep. Big facts.
Yes, sir. Mic drop. If I could, I would. I just dropped
Mic drop.
right now. I can't.
Mic drop. Well, hey, Taylor, what we got going on this week? People know about what you got going on.
Oh man. Well, it's the end of the month. So I'm trying to, do as many free evaluations as possible for as many patients that need it. So if you are out there snoring, or you are out there suffering, or you are out there just basically telling yourself, hey, I can probably sleep better, It doesn't hurt to literally give us a call and ask all the questions. We'll spend 30 minutes for free with you. And if you want to move forward, you're more than welcome to. But if not, at least you're educated. Please hit us up at tailormadesleep.com or call us at 480-524-8418. We're always here and willing to help.
That's dope. That's dope. And hey, for me, I got my year anniversary of my podcast May 4th. So keep a lookout for that episode coming out next week. I will be getting interviewed for that. So like, when I first started my podcast, I never did most people do an intro podcast talking about who they are, why they started the podcast, and what to look forward to. I never did that. I just started off with interviews. So no one really, unless you follow me online or know me personally or, connected with me, you wouldn't know why I started the podcast or what I do. You know what I'm saying? So
there you go. Yeah.
This is my opportunity on my year anniversary to talk about that and to talk about where I'm going next with the Healthy Project. Also, if I have a book coming out in the fall, so go to betterselfbook.com, sign up for the email waiting list to be the first to know when the book comes out. Yeah, that's what's popping over here.
Man, I need to up my game. What are you doing? Well, damn. You should have went first. I would have lied or something.
I got a movie coming out next month.
I got a movie coming out. I'm a franchise owner of a Subway. We about to kick that thing off. Eat fresh. What else? I got my own popcorn coming out with artificial butter that does absorb fat. It's awesome. It's great. It's just.
Hey man, you got a lot with running a business full time.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's enough. So you got nothing to be ashamed about there. But you should write a book. We'll talk about that off camera sometime.
Yeah, we'll get on that.
You need that. Well, hey, everybody, y'all have a great morning. Thank you for listening to Mindset in the Morning. Again, like, subscribe, leave your questions in the comments if you have any. We'd love to answer them on the podcast. Just loose conversations around entrepreneurship and what we're doing these days. And we want to involve you. So, do that.
Please do. Please hit us up.
Yes. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Peace.